This is live. Live with a MAGA emergency update from late night Baltimore. Well, Mr. Big Shot himself, he's talking about he's not going to play hardball anymore. Watch this clip.
25% for steel, 25% for aluminum, and we're getting a base load of 10%. Think of it, we're losing almost $2 trillion on trade, and those days are gone. We're not going to do that again. We're not going to let that happen. We're being ripped off by almost, I don't say every, but very close to every country, everywhere in the world, just being ripped off left and right. You had no leadership. You had people that didn't know what they were doing. And we're going to turn the country around. You know, we have a very nice phrase, make America great again. That's what we're going to do. And it's going to start with trade. We're doing really well. I see the stock market was up nicely, but this is a transition period, and it's going to be a little while. But we are doing well with every country. Ultimately, we have something they want, and you have to view it that way. We have something they want, and they want very badly. And you know, it's going to be, they're coming in, they're taking treasure, they're taking jobs when they do that, and they have to pay. And they don't have to pay if they come in and create their own jobs. You know, if they do their product here, if they build their product and make their product in the United States, we have absolutely no tariffs, and we welcome people. But we're taking in a lot of money from tariffs. And
Taking in a lot of money from tariffs.
Because the other was not sustainable.
Here we go. Are you going to play hardball?
No, I'm not going to mention COVID. I'm not going to say, oh, we play hardball with China. Play hardball with President Xi. No. We're going to be very nice. They're going to be very nice. And we'll see what happens. But ultimately, they have to make a deal because otherwise they're not going to be able to deal in the United States. So we want them involved. But they have to, and other countries have to make a deal. And if they don't make a deal, we'll set the deal. Because we're the ones that set the deal. Scott and Howard, myself, and others will be setting the deal, and it'll be a fair deal for everybody, and it'll be, I think it's a process.
They're the ones who set the deal. We're the ones who set the deal. I guess not. Not if we're going that way. Not if we're going to be trying to be all nice and not talk about COVID. You think you would bring up COVID if you thought that it was a deliberate military attack. All right, that's one thing. And now what else? There was some bad talking about the Constitution up here with the MAGAs. Let's see. Hold on now. Now, I'm trying to do this now. Now, you all talk here. Anybody want to talk in here? It's all talk here. This is Talk Baltimore, late night. All right, hold on now. Baltimore, let's see. Donald Trump calls for the termination of the Constitution. Watch this.
Believe it or not. And already his campaign and the Republican Party are being tested as he refuses to disavow the anti-Semitic and racist part of the party he has aligned himself with for years now. Trump has been endorsed by just a single Republican senator for this third.
Okay, that's an old one. I'm sorry. Wrong clip. My bad. I'm just getting used to this new system that might be good. Hold on now, everybody. Remember him? Your best friend? Also, the Orioles. Not sure. let's see here. There was something about it here. I heard this talking. No one's taught. No one wants to. Okay. This is David Parkman, and he's good sometimes. Here he is.
Trump won't admit it. Caroline Levitt won't admit it. But it's been admitted this was a mistake. Trump doesn't care. And in fact, he says we don't have time to figure it all out in detail. Figuring out who's who. Do we have minutes for the things we're saying on TV that they do? We just don't have time. It's inconvenient. Textbook fascist logic. Blame courts, blame the law, and elevate loyalty. Just say I'm right. Just let me do it. Because remember, as Donald Trump famously said in that disgusting Access Hollywood tape, when you're famous, they just let you do it. And now, a decade later, Trump is trying to carry that. And if the Constitution gets in the way, flush it 10 to 15 times like the classified documents Trump sent down his toilet. Inconvenience, and Trump won't let it stand.
Yeah.
Not exactly.
Now listen to this.
Constitutional conservative. Small's cat food is protein-packed recipes made from preservative-free, human-grade
All right.
ingredients that you would just
That's not the best of what I want.
right to your door. That is
Let's go back. We like cats on there. What was he saying about his inconvenience? Well, I don't got these clips so lined up so great, but that's what they are. All right. Well, here's another Fox embarrassment.
Still have 4 House Democrats in El Salvador seeking Abrego Garcia's release. And here is one of those congressmen. I think he is live in El Salvador. Maxwell Frost on with...
All right, go further.
That this comes as some sort of shock to, I mean, just even an average person, but a news person?
Oh, here we go.
Do you have anything besides your work? Move forward. I have to stop down with what you just said. Donald Trump's made a statement about wanting to deport American citizens. Do you have that in front of you? I've not seen that statement. Can you please quote where that comes from, that he would like to deport American citizens?
He said it in the Oval Office. He said he wants to go for homegrown snacks, people born and raised in the United States.
Do you have anything besides your word on that? I have not seen that.
Yeah.
So, beyond your word, do you have a source of that? I would love to see that clip or that transcript of him saying he wants to deport American citizens.
There is a clip online. I encourage people to just
Pause it right now. I'll tell you what's happening. If Frost is down there with any aides, which I imagine he's there probably traveling with one person from his office, that person is right now on their phone sending the producer a clip, because the idea that this comes as some sort of shock to, I mean, just even an average person, but
people to just Google Donald Trump homegrown, deporting homegrown criminals. It is something he said in the Oval Office.
Well, you understand how television works. We have these fancy earpieces. I like to get very few instructions from my staff. Oh, you and I have a conversation. But we are in search of that clip as we speak. So as you and I have this conversation for the next 7 minutes, we'll be looking for that clip. But let's keep digging it.
You know what he's saying there is that they're in his earpiece saying, get off this, we do have it. Because when he's saying, I want to be able to conduct this interview without hearing all this noise.
100%.
Yes.
That is him.
Deport homegrown citizens. Here is the clip referenced by Maxwell Frost from the Oval Office of President Trump talking about homegrown criminals.
I'd like to go a step further. I mean, I said it to them. I don't know what the laws are. We always have to obey the laws, but we also have homegrown criminals that push people into subways, that hit elderly ladies on the back of the head with a baseball bat when they're not looking, that are absolute
I saw that, incidentally. I saw that in, was a documentary of
push people into subways that hit elderly ladies on the back of the head with a baseball bat when they're not looking, that are some absolute monsters. I'd like to include them in the group of people to get them out of the country.
It goes on right after that to say, but we have to obey the law. It will always be to obey the law. After years of very fine people, among other hoaxes, I'm suspicious of any Democrat quoting President Trump in full context. And I make no apologies, none, on not being able to know or recall that specific clip because it doesn't reinforce my fever dream Handmaid's Tale vision of America, where Lily, who reads The Bulwark on the Upper West Side, is about to be deported right after Kilmar Abrego Garcia. President Donald Trump was clearly talking about obeying the law. I'm doubtful the law would allow him to deport homegrown criminals. But it's a far cry again from the Handmaid's Tale vision of the next after Abrego Garcia is you.
Well, I like the fact that he became indignant because he was actually shown to be 100% wrong. But he's more than 100% wrong. He's at least 200% wrong because here's the second time in the Oval Office. Like, I don't know how much more, and we also know Donald Trump. Donald Trump would never attempt to do anything that was against the law except for ignore a court's order to turn the plane around from the last group of people, Garcia being one of them, sent to El Salvador.
Except for the illegal thing that he's saying he wants to do in that very sentence. That's the fun thing. He wants to follow the law, except for the words that are coming out of his mouth, which is in clear violation of the Constitution and the law.
All right, that's good. Now we're back on here. And you got any statements?
Yeah.
It's a show.
What do you think about the draft coming up?
I think that the draft coming up is going to be the greatest draft for the Ravens. The Ravens will draft.
Safety, right?
No.
They're not going to draft the safety?
No, they're going to draft Cam Ward.
Cam Ward.
And then trade him for 2 first-round picks.
Well, Cam Ward's probably going to be the first pick.
Oh, all right. So that's wrong.
They have the 27th pick.
Oh. All right. Let's see who do you think?
I think they're picking a safety.
Well, that's a good.
Best safety on the board.
Oh, that might be right. Well, our old buddy, remember him? Mel Kiper. He says
Safety.
close, almost.
Cornerback.
Yep. He says Siobhan Revel Jr. Oh, this must be old though. Well, what choice the Ravens have?
27th.
Oh. Oh yeah, it looks like that's what he has. For the Ravens. He also thinks
Safety.
or edge rusher.
Safety, they got to replace Marcus Williams.
This is who he says are the best possible. Donovan Ezeku from Boston College. 6'2", 248. What is?
Pass rushers.
Yeah, he's a pure pass rusher. Then Shamar Stewart from Texas A&M.
Yeah, I heard him. There must be some draft buzz around it.
Well, he says, what's he? He's a rusher too. And Michael Williams from Georgia. But none of these guys, I don't think none of those guys will be ready. I mean, none of those folks will be still around, right?
Might be.
probably a cornerback. And you said a cornerback?
Safety.
Fez says safety for the Ravens. What about for the Dolphins?
Dolphins, I say cornerback.
Cornerback. Well, that's as good as any. All right, now everybody, we will close the show with a tribute to the greatest man in the history of the draft, Mel Kiper Jr. from Maryland. Yeah. All right. Goodbye.